This week on Football Mundial, don't blink. You might miss a trick or two. Throughout June and July, Football Mundial brought you the sights and sounds of the 10 World Cup venues. Did we say 10? Well, we may have got it wrong. Welcome to the sleepy village of Thorncombe in a corner of southwest England. Not much going on here then. Wrong again.
Thank you. You've got to help them when you can.
Hello, I'm Jürgen Klinsmann. Welcome to the Alternative World Cup in Thorncombe.
Yes, an alternative star for an alternative tournament. It brought together 20 amateur sides from 7 different countries. The criteria for qualification? None. Everyone merely descended on Thorncombe for a festival of football and fun. The competition was the brainchild of Roger Wilson, whose team, the Easton Cowboys, were also participating.
2 years ago, we decided that we ought to try and go for a big tournament, a tournament that try and include as many contacts and as many teams from around the world as possible, which is where the Alternative World Cup came from. We've been organising it for a year and a half, and we've just troweled around everywhere trying to get any contact we had in any country. So we've had a lot of failures, a lot of teams haven't made it. We've also had some really good successes.
The standard of play was varied. Very varied, but nobody seemed to care much. For teams like Hackney Roadkill in black, the taking part was as important as the winning, which is just as well. Played 4, lost 4, goals scored few, goals against plenty. But while some were just here for the liquid refreshment, others were taking things more seriously. Yes, the South Africans were in town, and they were the star turn on and off the pitch. The side hailed from Diepkloof, a township in Soweto. This was their first overseas adventure. Their passage was paid for by funds raised by the other sides in the competition.
I think the main difference between this team and the other teams that are here is that it's a development squad. It's made up of young players, most of them schoolboys, and I can almost guarantee that at least one of them is going to play international football. Is going to play for the national squad.
We're gonna smash you!
Cheers. Hi guys! Yes. All right.
One to watch, Lucky Makubo. At 20, he's on the books of Kaiser Chiefs and has represented his country at youth level.
Football means a great deal to me, and someday I want to be able to play for one of the big clubs abroad.
The Diepkloof 11 showed the rest of the field a clean pair of heels, gaining the respect of their opponents along the way.
I haven't got anything to say. Outclass, mate, outclass.
Amongst the other useful sides were LKS Lechnica of Poland, determined to prove that years of vodka abuse hadn't diminished their game. They were physical, sometimes a bit too physical, but players had to be careful. There was special treatment for yellow card offenders. Is this perhaps an idea for Sepp Blatter and FIFA to consider?
I'm in the cage because of the yellow card, but I shouldn't be. That wasn't a foul.
The team who represented the spirit of the tournament as well as any were a bunch of lunatics. Named after a reggae band, the Lunatics FC from Antwerp, Belgium, combined a nice brand of football with a sense of fun.
En de Lunatics gaan winnen. We're gonna win! Lunatics world champions!
Unfortunately, such confidence proved unfounded, and they were eliminated by Deep Kloof. And they just couldn't hide their disappointment. So what did the locals make of it all? Some were curious, others slightly bemused, but most were just glad the show had come to town.
It's been an exciting weekend from my point of view, being part of the sports club at Thorncombe. I enjoy the sport, you know, and I enjoy the competition. It's great seeing so much colour, you know. We got all sorts of people here. We got people that really obviously love their football and people that really just like a good time and a day out, and we welcome them all.
The crowd welcomed the South Africans onto the pitch for the final. Their opponents, Neckarstrasse from Stuttgart, Germany. So who were the local favourites? Let's get an expert opinion.
I like the South Africans, but the Germans keep on shutting up my mum.
The final itself was a fairly tight affair. The South Africans emerged 1-0 winners. However, the Alternative World Cup was as much about Hackney roadkill as Deep Kloof of Soweto. It was about bringing people together.
Our attitude is that we're tired of like Little Englander mentality, you know, nationalism that stops people actually communicating and organising across Europe. And we show that you can do it without the help of anybody.
There may not have been 80,000 at the final, but Thorncombe '98 most definitely captured the spirit of the game.